You're a professional thief. You got 96 convictions of crimes, not counting what's about to happen here. This goes back to 1991. You've been committing crimes for 30 years now. Over 30 years.
Welcome to What Had Happened Was,
where we take a peek into actual court cases and give you commentary based on our unique perspective and experiences, and also give you informational tips and tricks to help you avoid a what had happened situation.
Before we get started, give us a thumbs up, a tasteful comment, subscribe to the channel to be notified of every video as they come out.
Well, in 2015, I did have the rape, and I hadn't been in no trouble since I never was on no probation 3 times. I was on misdemeanor probation 1 time and felony probation for theft like chicks. And I don't have like a bunch of theft cases. This is like my first or second, and they enhanced it with the theft by checks. And I was young, I was like 18, I just had my baby. And I wrote a couple of checks to get stuff for him. But I'm just saying, where I am right now, my sickness, I just wanted to see if I could be on probation so I could get the license and continue on with my medicine and everything. This year, in 16, I had to have surgery on my liver because it was bleeding. And now I went in the hospital.
I'm sorry, 2016?
Yeah.
Oh.
And recently I had blood clots, and I had to have surgery to get those blood clots removed. And then when I went to the hospital, I couldn't breathe, and I passed out. And they came pick me up for the ambulance, and they told me that my heart would only be 15%, and that I needed a life vest. I have to wear it like every day. On time I take it off when I use the bathroom and go to take a shower. And I just want to see if I could get probation. I could do the probation. I'm not like I was younger, just riding and doing what I want. I'm got my stuff together now. With that theft that I did, I know that was wrong. I had to try to get a shirt for my grandson, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have just paid for it, but I was wrong for it. And I just couldn't see that she did grant me probation. I proved to you that I can do probation.
What was it you stole? I'm sorry.
A shirt.
A shirt?
A polo shirt.
This is a total of $390 was stolen, was taken out of your purse. Much?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how they make that. How they police.
Oh, so they're wrong. You're not wrong.
I mean, I had the shirt and like some shoes.
So they said they had 300 and how much?
$389.
$389 worth of merchandise. At first she said, I don't even know what that's not true. All I took was a shirt. And the judge is like, you took a shirt that was $389? So he's trying to figure out that. She's like, well,
she said I had a shirt, and then she said,
now she's changed. Now she's added to the story. She said, well, I took a shirt and some shoes.
And she didn't violate probation 3 times.
And I didn't violate probation. She had
probation twice.
It wasn't. They don't know what they're talking about. It wasn't 3 times. It was only twice. But the reason why it was only twice, because when she violated it twice, I guess the second violation is when she wound up going to do the 12 months.
Yes. So in her mind, since probation was revoked, she did new probation, so that doesn't count.
And in the pre-sentence report, that's part of the record that was entered without objection. The total amount stolen, $389.48. Here's my interest. Here's what's interesting is in the pre-sentence report. I'd like you to explain to me where you contrived this idea. A search of your purse led to the discovery of a large silver magnet used in stores to take off security tags and a pair of wire snips.
So she had the money to pay, but she also decided, I do this just in case, take
Extra stuff.
extra stuff with me. Well, those extra stuff things are called burglar's tools. That's what they're called. That's the legal term for it, burglar tools.
Yeah, so she's acting like she doesn't know how this stuff got in her bag. Like,
This
but
magic
but you
itself into her
came with
bag.
you. So the judge is asking her to explain if you planned, because she said, "Well, I was just going, I was going to pay for it, but I didn't pay for it." So if you was planning on just going into the store and buying a shirt for your grandson, that means that you would have had the money. Whatever you was planning on doing, you came prepared to do. Because if you were coming, because you were coming to buy a shirt, that means you coming with the money, your debit card, whatever you coming with. She came with things to be able to take off the sensor, clip the wire, and walk out with the shirt. So she can't explain if you wasn't coming to steal the shirt or steal something, why you got caught with the things that are used to steal stuff with.
Well, you just had all the theft tools that any thief ever could ask for Christmas. You're a professional thief. You got 96 convictions of crimes, not counting what's about to happen here. 10 convictions of crimes, a theft, harassment. I mean, this goes back to 1991. You've been committing crimes for 30 years now. Over 30 years. And by the way, you not only including this crime, but other crimes were committed since 2016, the date you say you have this heart ailment that has affected your physical ability, but does and your life expectancy, but it doesn't prevent you from committing crimes. That's a problem. It's your criminal history. 96. That's one of the most I've done this for a long time. Thousands of cases. You are one of the most prolific criminals that have set foot in this room. And I guess you have used similar kinds of sad stories to others to try to minimize your responsibility. But this is nothing to be proud of, and it's not anything that this court can really sympathize with you. People come in here. Everyone comes in here. Maybe one or two out of the thousands have been more prolific in their criminal actions, quantity of crime.
So now he's talking about all the crimes and things he's going through. Once again, he's going through her resume. This is all the stuff that you've done over the period of time, over a 30-year period, and you've only went to jail once for 12 months.
And you don't seem very remorseful because you're still out there committing crimes.
And we just caught you not too long ago with a shirt, some sneakers, and the tools to steal them.
On you, your person. And they also said, in addition to that, there have been other crimes you've been committing since you've been this so-called sick. It hasn't stopped or curtailed your illegal activities, your criminal enterprises that you've been doing.
And they're saying, like, okay, so you're like, oh, I'm sick. She has that life vest that they talking about. She said the lawyer said she couldn't afford one. No, she said she had one. And that life vest is only worn for like 3 months. It's not a permanent thing. The life vest is there to kind of, it's a way to monitor, to make sure that while they're fitting you, I guess for the pacemaker or to get whatever you got to get going on, or the surgery, whatever you got to get, so that they can monitor in case you fall on the floor. I guess somebody could just hit it, as opposed to getting the whole machine out and everything like that. It could shock you. and they can send a report to the doctor saying this is how many times they've had to take care of this. But once again, they saying that in spite of all of that, you still been out doing your thing. So like, it's not really bothering you.
Times more than you. But all of those thousands of people that come before me could say, Miss Tiffany Marshall, she had 97 convictions and you let her kind of sashay out of here.
So now he's saying if he allows her to get with probation, he's telling her, he's preparing her mentally to know, if I cannot allow you to walk away with 15 months probation, because it's not even about conscience. This could come back to bite it on so many other cases, because she's done 96 different infractions or whatever. And he's saying, if I do that, someone else could say, well, they could cite this case as a legal precedent as to why they should get out, because they might only have 50 infractions. And they say, you hitting me with 3 years? Well, this person got 15 months probation and they did worse things than I did.
And I'd like the Tiffany Marshall rule, please, because aren't you supposed to be fair, Judge? Yeah, I am. I should be fair. And everybody is to be judged based upon their criminal history and character.
So that's part of what they said before. Like when they do, we've talked about this before, and we'll probably bring this up again. This was called a pre-sentence interview, and it's not done with the actual person itself sometimes, but what they'll do is they'll go through the history of the person. They'll see what kind of education they have. They'll see what kind of other things they have. And this is that's why all those things are being brought up. She said she paid the money back when she wrote the checks or whatever. But he's trying to see what kind of and once again, and she's saying now she's sick. Be nice about this. But he's saying that I can't, because anybody who has a illness or anything like that, you could say, well, we have to not charge them, because that's like somebody who has like a terminal illness going in a place and shooting, like unaliving somebody, and then saying, well, Judge, I'm sick, you can't sentence me, you can't do this because I'm sick.
Don't want to be held accountable for their actions.
Right.
And this is very poor character. And your criminal history is most prolific. This court is not going to change the rule of law, which states people are responsible for their bad acts, their criminal acts. They must be held responsible. Anything else?
Well, I don't know that all of the theft by check citations were convictions. I know that she said she handled most of her things by paying her checks off. But the other thing is, I would ask the court that if the court is not willing to allow her to be on probation, and even though she got a year the last time she had a state jail felony, we would ask that you consider something on the low end, 6 months, or even a 1244, even in light of her other problems that we would have to, as the taxpayers, have to deal with because she's so ill. So I would ask the court, if you're going to send her to jail, that you consider something on the low end.
Anything else? If not, on that argument, truly, then people who are seriously ill have carte blanche to do pretty much anything they want, and everyone has some form of situation health-wise that they're dealing with. Even the most healthy people are not perfect. I so find you guilty. I'm following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the state jail for a term of 15 months. You will be given credit for all time that you have served in accordance with this. Your lifestyle, see, Ms. Marshall, you have a lifestyle that you feel shocked that committing crimes should hold you accountable. You have 96 infractions of law, 96, and you are committing these crimes with special tools for getting away with attempting to commit your theft. You have specially made tools that are used in the commission of your crime. You can't, a judge cannot be lenient with you. You cost everybody. You are a one-person crime wave. It's thefts that cost everybody more money at merchandise stores because their theft, the loss is so high. We have to pay for your criminal acts. But after 96 times you have had to go deal with crimes in various courts, from felony courts to misdemeanor to Class C misdemeanor courts, you would have gotten the message, and you never have. You just are a career criminal. That's you're the very essence of a career criminal. And I wish you wouldn't do that. Thou shalt not steal. You've heard of that one.
You know, things are very bad when the judge has to quote the Bible in court.
He's telling her, she's like, now she's crying, like now it's really hitting her. And the judge, the defense attorney is like, well, if you do got to put her in jail, can you put her somewhere, where she can have the house? He's like, once again, like, no, like, not to be funny, this situation, you can't control it. The time to control it was when it was not to do it in the first place. That's how you kind of control the situation. So then now she's like, oh, because it's just going to cost us the taxpayers money if she goes to jail. And he's already saying that you cost money in the store when you steal, because when you steal, they have to add more security. They got to do more wires. And she got wire snippers. So she got wire snippers and magnets and all this other stuff. So he's like, and then they got to have a security guard. They got to have this. They got to have a whole bunch of other things. And then when you go in and you want to buy a shirt or whatever, then you like, why is this shirt so high? Well, because people keep stealing.
So he's figuring it's the lesser of two problems of putting you in jail as opposed
He's
to.
like, if I put you in jail and you do all this stuff, then guess what? There's one less person we got to worry about stealing stuff right now.
And it's not only written in moral issues, but it's right there in the law. There's a full section or 2 or 3 in the penal code which deal with dishonest acts, and that's where you are. I'm sorry. I just wish you'd have changed your ways. But like I said, you've been doing this for 30 years. 30 years.
As far as evidence to the contrary, she's still insisting that she is changed. She's sitting there saying to the judge, this is a 97th conviction, and she wants to be judged. She's saying, I have changed.
She's saying she changed, but we are literally here because you got caught with a shirt, some shoes, and the tools to steal them with. So how can we say you changed when you did the same thing? Because
repentance means not doing it again.
Your grandson has been having birthdays. I don't know how many, but he's been having birthdays. So what have you been doing those other birthdays?
Okay. Judge, can I get some time to get my stuff in order and go to my doctor to get my vaccine?
No, ma'am, not under this situation. The jail is going to be able, those people in the jail take care of people who have medical issues. I trust them. They are good at their job. I'm going to give you a chance during the Christmas season to go out and steal more stuff. I don't think so. Well, you've always done that. You've done that for 30 years, 97 times now.
Just take it to traffic violations. So please. I got my grandkids living with me.
Ma'am, my God. Ma'am, you didn't think of all of that when you made a choice to steal? You didn't think of what you had to lose? Yes, and the people who rely on you or respect you or look up to you?
So the judge is saying that she didn't start to consider what she would lose by the actions that she took, and she's not trying to be accountable for what she did.
And now she's sitting there saying, but I got my grandchildren living with me, and he's like, so. But she also said that she went and stole the shirt for a grandchild. Once again, I don't know how many she got in the house, and I don't know who's there or whatever, and why this one particular grandchild needed this stuff more than like he's saying you didn't think about the fact that you have all these people, quote unquote, as what she's saying, like dependent upon her, but you went and stole because of that.
She
But she
jeopardized
said she
all of
changed.
them
But she said she
for
changed
going off for one.
for one.
Yeah, that's not change. So she'd rather gamble her freedom in hope of not getting caught, or if getting caught, lying on them to just let her go, and she can just say, "Oh, I'm sick," they'll let me go, rather than just not do it.
I've got children. I've got grandchildren. They help me make the right choices, and it's not all that hard to think about them first. And you don't. You just thought about stealing for your needs. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I hate being the Grinch here, but this is all about law or an order, and this is 97th time. 97th time, my gosh.
It's like this, like all them times. It's like tricky, and
Ma'am, they were all crimes that you were found guilty of. They were all crimes. All of them were crimes. That is all. And make sure that you inform the jail about your health needs so that they can get the proper medication for you.
All right, let's go.
That is all. Thank you.
Man, let's go. Let's go. Okay.
Nobody likes hearing anybody cry during Christmas.
Thanks for watching.
And also give us a thumbs up, like, comment, share. Subscribe to the channel, and you'll be notified of every video as they come up. And get that algorithm going and help us build this channel in 2024.
And make sure that you don't wind up in a what had happened situation.